And there's a lot of those decisions, they're going to have to make. I was kind of messing around with Evan before he got in today. And
what'd you say?
I was saying, you know what? I was kind of joking around, but maybe I wasn't. I said, this should be the hardball summer for the Warriors. Or this could be the hardball summer. So what does a hardball summer look like? Well, okay, Steve, what are you doing? Okay, you don't really want to coach next year? All right, you don't have to then. Steph, you've meant everything to this organization. Let's table an extension. See how next year goes with your health. Draymond, you have a player option. We assume you're going to exercise your option. You'll be back for one more year. Okay? Butler. Nothing to do with Butler except wait for him to come back. Pods, you can wait too.
Yeah.
Pods can wait.
Yeah.
Melton, no rush on Melton. Horford, that's his decision. Let Horford make that decision. And then who else? Porzingis is a guy you're going to probably have to make a decision on.
Because he says he needs some time. So it's a very important offseason for him. Loves the Bay, loves the team, but he's got to go to the lab and see what's best for him.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of just a phrase, play hardball this summer. But, I do wonder if you could talk Steph into sitting tight for a year. It wouldn't mean It wouldn't mean that we don't want you, but I'm sorry. I don't care if the guy's Jesus Christ. If you pay him an exorbitant amount of money 2 years from now, you got to know that he's going to be ready to play a certain amount of games. And I don't know that you can get a feel for that right now when he just had this runner's knee. But that's a delicate situation. And I'm not saying kick Steph to the curb, but boy, we could use him just hanging in there for one more year for the sake of everybody, I think.
No, I get that, and I do wonder if Lake Up would have the guts to say it, and maybe, Steiner, you could say back, and I'll give you a chance to say, Goo, that makes no sense. It doesn't take guts. But if I'm Steph Curry, all that I've done, I know I've gotten paid, and I remember the Dibs model in regard to what Steph's getting paid. He's still underpaid for what he means to this franchise. But if you said, hey, can we table this basically because we don't trust or believe that your body can hold up, I wonder how the chef would that come across like too hardcore in a sense. Like almost if I'm Steph, like, oh, so now you know what I mean? Now I'm on trial, I got to show you, huh?
Yeah, you do. You're 39, buddy. You're 39. And you only played 43 games this past year, and you've come down with something that everybody seems to acknowledge is something that's going to have to be managed. Like, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Can somebody define what his new normal is? What if his new normal is 55 games a year?
And what if he doesn't even know his new normal? What if it's 45?
Exactly. So at that point, you gotta wait to see what it's like. We're gonna see this new normal. We're gonna see what it looks like next year, and maybe it'll look great. I don't know what it'll look like, and if it looks great, then revisit him the following year and sign him up for 2 more and call it a day.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm in your office now, and I need a San Jose Jazz fan in the chat saying, Goose, stop making sense. I do have to say this. Our new normal in Dub Nation now, with old and young, because Moody's out. We don't know his availability. So is Jimmy Butler. Steph's got this injury. What if I told you the new normal for Dub Nation is, and we don't know if we're going to be healthy night in, night out. And one thing we do know is Jimmy Butler and Moses Moody will not be in the starting 5 come next opening night, wherever that is. And Steph is, with this runner's knee, as you just talked about, there's a cloud.
I tell you what, I'm so fascinated by how people think the next couple years should go. Chris A. from Oakland on the YouTube chat. Steiny's treating Steph like he's James Harden. No, I'm not treating him like he's James Harden, but I also am curious, and I'm not going to say I disagree or you're right or you're wrong, but how many Warrior fans out there are of the mind that just give Steph an extension for whatever it is, for 1 or 2 more years, no matter what, no matter the money.
Yeah.
Okay? And if
he's earned that.
okay? I hope people realize that when we say he's still worth it, like he's not. You realize that, don't you? Like, I get it. He's really worth $1 billion if we want to play that game because of the value of the organization. But you can't tell me a guy who played 43 games this past year, you have to continue paying him $60+ million. There's got to be a middle ground, right?
We'll find out, and it doesn't have to be. And I'll say this with that exercise that you just you put on with Steph. I mean, we could do that with about 10 or 12 players, Donnie. Of no matter how old they are you getting a bang for your buck in regard to what they're getting paid and what you get? Not that should make the Warriors feel better, but the buck shouldn't stop with Steph Curry. I mean, especially, again, I'm living in the past, and it was just last week. Wednesday night was Exhibit A of then on one night.
If that's good enough for you, then go ahead and do it.
No,
I would say that.
It's good enough for me to write that check, but try to get better around the edges. So if he's not that on said night, we still it's not 98% of our chances to win said game. We got to get better around him.
Well, you can if you're going to give him 65 more. Like, it's really going to be hard. You know, right now, like, people say, well, what can we do next year? And the only thing they have is LeBron. And I don't, like, I read a story in ESPN about LeBron. It feels so far-fetched that he's coming here. Like, if you just look at the things, well, it doesn't make sense for him to come here, I don't believe. But, you know, if people want to hold on to that until he, you know, makes his decision, that's fine. They don't have a lot of options right now with Steph and Butler on the team occupying as much money as they are occupying. It's going to be hard. They got two things, maybe.
Give it to me.
They got their 11th pick in the draft, and
or
then
higher.
they got or lower, and then they got some kind of mid-level, one of the two mid-levels to use. But other than that, I don't know. I'm
being so serious with this question I'm posing to you and the listeners. Last year when Steph pulled that hammy and Kuminga looked to have had, to me, a breakout playoff performance that was going to turn his career around in a Warrior uniform, and this next season, which just passed, was going to be watch out. I felt good about everything moving forward, that there was no way in hell, and I'm always one of those, a big take Jake at the end of the season going into the next. But what if I told you this is the first season in a long time that I don't feel confident saying this Warrior team is going to make the playoffs next year? Because that's the goal, especially after not qualifying technically this one. There's no way in hell you feel like this Warrior team can miss the playoffs next year, can you?
Wait, do you think they can? Yes, of course. Of course they can miss the playoffs next year. Why would you say that you wouldn't think they could? Like they missed them this year.
And Jimmy went down. Jimmy's going to miss, but he'll be coming back.
Okay.
And hopefully Steph kicks runner's knee in the ass.
Okay. And everything goes right. What do you have?
See, that's what I don't know. I hope that would be a 4th, 5th, or 6th seed in the playoffs and avoid the play-in. Okay. And I think that's what they're going to do, try and do.
That might be all they can do, quite frankly. But no, I mean, if you're asking me right now, could they have another season like this season? Of course they can. My gosh, why? Like, of course they can. First of all, they better be healthier than this year.
Well, and that is everything. But you can't predict it. And right now, it's not on their side.
Let's go to Chris in San Jose. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Gentlemen, I got to admit, it's been a very rough year.
Yeah.
I'm perturbed with this organization, and rightly so. They're acting like a clown show. You got a guy who has a clown haircut, and Draymond acts like a clown. Are we going to allow him to continue to embarrass the organization the way he did last night? We can't do this. He's a bully. We know he's bullying everyone around him. Oh, we're afraid. I know we're San Francisco, but we got to have some dog about us as fans. We can't go soft. We're getting older, as Charles Barkley would say. We can't go get older. We need young blood. We need to revamp. Dish the whole thing. Throw it out, man. This money could go to charity. Don't give him $62 million. He runs 10 miles a game. He falls down 25 times. Don't you know he's going to get hurt again next year? He can't get open without running around 5 and 10 miles a game. Create an offense to take the weight, the balance, the impetus off of Steph scoring 35 points. Come on now. We deserve better.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate the call.
I didn't get to hear you and Evan. And again, it's in my short radio career, it hurts me that I missed that show, that euphoria from the station and the fans. But he could not have made that call about Draymond Green Thursday after what Dre personally did Wednesday to show you what he's still capable of.
That's why he waited till Monday.
And I was disappointed Friday, and I'll give you a 2 on that. And I was disappointed that Dre got ran Friday. Champs don't go out that like that. Especially after you just got your flowers. I'm just telling you how I saw it. But the bottom line is Dre is the winner, and he's in control of this player option. He's no fool, and he's talking about I might not be here. Now, if they pulled off a trade or something like that, you wouldn't. But that's highly unlikely. Dre would be a fool to turn down that team option he has, right?
I mean, I just look at it. Man. Yeah, I mean, Curry was great on Wednesday. He stunk on Friday. Draymond was great on Wednesday. Took all his flowers. Received them from Kawhi Leonard. Went out on Friday. Absolutely stunk up the gym. And then pulls what he always pulls at the end. Now, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care that he got thrown out.
I'm trying to fight you on
all
that.
All I care about is do the math. Porzingis, Horford, Draymond, and Curry were all pretty good on Wednesday, and none of them could come to post on Friday.
Oh, man.
Like, none of their old guys can string together. It's hard for their old guys to string together long stretches of really good play.
But it was that way from the outset.
Right. So I don't know why we would come back next year unless we have to. And if we have to, we have to. But I would not be excited about, running this back, but I would understand if they have to end up running it back.
Do you hold on to your bread in regard to what you think you want to pay Porzingis and give Quentin Post another shot at it or anybody else? Because if you're telling me you're going to write that check for Porzingis, but you still think you could miss the offs, to me, that doesn't match. And again, I'm not saying Warrior headquarters are saying we don't got a chance, Koo. But Steiny, you got to roll the dice and hope you're a healthier ball club next year. And that's going to be bigger than any addition you could make at this point to me.
Well, keep in mind that you're not a regular team hoping to stay healthy. You're an injured team that's already been injured, hoping to stay healthy.